Good evening, folks. It's about to happen. And when I say about, I mean next 2 years. I feel pretty safe saying in the next 2 years we're going to face an economic collapse. Um, Anybody who knows me knows that I've invested in silver. I'd suggest that you guys go ahead and invest in some silver too. Um, Bitcoin probably going to play a point. I'd invest in some Bitcoin. Commodities, go ahead, get into some commodities. Oh fuck, what am I talking about? I'm talking to a bunch of idiots, right? Talking to a bunch of idiots that think, wait a second, it's just what the economy's improving because Trump got elected, right? He's oh, right, because the president of the United States has so much effect on the economy. I mean, I guess you're right. Yes, trade war pending, that can affect the economy, but trade wars, history, a little history lesson. They don't tend to do too well for the economy. Um, they kind of hurt a lot of sectors. Um, oh, and I don't know if you noticed the background, but there's a picture and it says debt slave. That's what most of you are, according to the statistics. I don't know if you've pulled up the U.S. debt calculator, but you guys owe a lot of money, in general. It's a good rule of thumb to go ahead and pick out most Americans and say, hey, how much do you have in savings? And they're like, oh, $100. Like, what? $100? Like, wait a second. What if something bad happens? Like the economy tanks and you lose your job. Oh, well, I got credit and I can sell some stuff. It's like, well, there's pretty good factor that if that is your plan of attack, it's not going to work out too well for you. You're going to be up shit creek. Now most Americans are hardworking people from what I've seen, but that means you're just going to have to work extra super hard for at least, I don't know, 8 to 12 years to get yourself back on track. And during that, there's going to be a lot of tribulation where if you take the next 2 years, and that's maximum, if you take the next year or 6 months and you start putting aside as much money as you can now so that you have some cash, and I'm talking, don't keep it all in the bank, don't keep it all in precious metals, don't keep it all in a safe or under your mattress. I'm saying diversify. Keep some in the bank, keep some in silver, gold if you can buy it, keep some in cash. You need to start doing this. Hell, that I'm going to go ahead and talk about something that I don't think many of you think about, but if you can find a way to invest in, let's say shovels. Let's just go ahead and go with the good analogy, shovels, right? Guess what? People are always going to need shovels. The shovels are important for getting work done. Shovels break. It's a tool, maybe power drills. If you have 4 power drills, that's something that, you can move. I mean, seriously, go on Craigslist and look and try to buy a power drill. I mean, I don't know if power drill is a good example. I'm trying to think of something better. A welding machine. Something that is used to create stuff that breaks, that people will need. You can invest in that, believe it or not. Gloves, go ahead, buy some gloves. I mean, people who are doing manual labor are always going to need a new pair of gloves. I mean, these are things you can invest in right now. And of course, let's go ahead and bring up the other one, debt. Your debt's not going to disappear. It'd be nice to see, or no, I don't know if it would be nice, because you know what? You guys created the debt. You got to pay it off. Like, that's how this shit works. But it may be nice for you if you had the whole economic collapse and then debt disappeared. Guess what? That's a dream. It's a fable. Not going to happen. I really think some of you could use a fresh start, but the thing is, you guys don't learn the lesson unless it happens. And I am one of many thousand people out there that are starting to sound the sirens. Hey, guess what, guys? We've been tracking the data. We've seen cycles throughout entirety of human history, and the cycle says, hey, we're probably headed for another recession. Where's it going to come from? I'm not that fucking smart. I don't know. I can tell you that a lot of people owe money on student debt. I can tell you that the baby boomer generation is about to start taking their money out of the stock market because they need to live on it. I can tell you that there's probably, good rule of thumb, there's usually a few schemes going in the financial market. I don't know if it's in housing like it was in 2008, but I can guarantee there's some schemes. This is the warning sound, guys. It's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it takes 3 years instead of 2. Maybe it's 3 years out. But guess what? All that saving, all that preparing for the shit that's about to happen, it still applies. And once you got it, because I thought this shit was going to happen in 2012 because I was a little uneducated. I didn't realize that it was actually going to take longer than this. I thought this shit in 2012 was going to go down. I got into conspiracy theories, but granted, I was coming out of high school. Yeah, I was coming out of high school, guys. 2012. I didn't have my head completely screwed on. I just found out about these concepts and I thought, it's going to happen now. But now that I've had a little bit of time to actually study some shit and learn some shit, I'm realizing, oh, wait a second. Now we're in the next 2 years. So I'm going 2. I think it's actually going to happen sooner, but in the next 2 years, guys, I'm fairly certain it's going to fucking happen. How bad is it going to be? Well, it has a very big potential for being really bad. Really bad. So, anyways, that's my little 2 cents shout out to the ether. Hope somebody hears it, because you need to start saving. You need to be prepared to have some rough financial turbulence coming up. Prepare for it now so that it doesn't ruin you.